me to do that.
Why are you inviting me in? I'm already here. Why is there a Renault out there? Right. We need to get the introduction. Right. Hello. Right. Hello and welcome to SLR's 3rd Division race here in Mexico City. You join me, Riggs, as your commentator, and alongside me in the booth is Merx.
Hello,
Back
everyone.
once again, reunited.
Yep.
Reunited, Riggs and Merx back in the commentary booth. It's been a wee while since we were commentating together. I think also you missed out in Suzuka last week. I think we were here on the booth for Sochi, if I believe my mind serves
Yes,
correct.
it was.
Brilliant. And Merx, as a driver, Mexico City, it's been on the calendar once again, and it's been on the track. It's been on the calendar since 2015. Obviously, like it's had a very Ross and Rachel like affair in terms of itself in Formula One. The relationship's very on and off again. The last race before it came back was in 1992. So
Mansellmania.
back under Mansellmania. Schumacher got his first podium here. Like it's got a lot of history here. So like as a driver, Merx, like where does this track stand in your list of like favourites to least favourites? Like what is your overall opinion on this circuit?
I don't like it, to be honest.
You don't like it, honestly.
It's not
I
one
can
of my
fully agree with that, to be fair.
tracks. As we've seen the Haas almost get damaged on preparing the lap. It's kind of just the tyres not really grippy. It's hard to overtake. Even the long straights, sometimes not even long enough because of the altitude. And then dirty air is quite high around this track. So I think the main issue really is tyres. And well, in a full dry race, it could be a mixture of 1 and 2 stops. But the weather for tonight's race has heavy rain at the start of the race, so that'll be interesting.
We picked a race to commentate. If I'm actually saying that it is our duty to commentate on the 3rd Division, but I mean, heavy rain is something we can very much look forward to in qualifying. I will assume with that information, we're going to see all the drivers opting for the softest compound tyre in Q2. If you're unsure about the rule, Q2, if you're in the top 10 in qualifying 2 into the pole position shootout in Q3, you have to start on the tyres that you qualified in Q2. But I would assume that most drivers opt to start on the medium tyres. I feel like that's been like a kind of recurring trend. I feel like the medium tyre at the start is really where drivers want to be. But obviously with the heavy rain looming over the start of the race, the drivers will shift their fancy from the mediums to the softs, I would assume. And you were kind of covering that there. The tyre degradation here is quite excessive as well, and the altitude makes it really difficult for engines to remain cool as well. It makes it kind of like gas for air because it's the highest in altitude on the calendar as well. So it's got another accolade there for that. But we are starting to see a time. I was going to say sometimes there is a singular time on the board.
And
And
no,
that's Hicklin.
I think Steve will be next across the line. He's invalidated though. The 2 racing points will be next after that. See what they can do.
Sweaty confetti. I'm gonna.
I love the name. I
feel like
have to say.
I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy commentating whatever that name.
A new fastest lap from his teammate. Yeah, that is. Oh, as I say that, the times are tumbling.
Times are really starting to come in thick and fast now. With just over 12 minutes remaining in Q1, but. Merx, the track itself, the nature of the circuit, you were saying you're covering that in there, like there isn't really many significant overtaking opportunities. The main ones we can obviously identify would be into the braking zone at turn 1, the braking zone at turn 4 after the second DRS straight, and you sometimes see a move in the stadium section, but I don't feel like that's going to be of a common occurrence. I feel like that might be like a last-ditch kamikaze type kind of thing for like an extra point or 2 points or whatever. But like, if there is one area of this track that really doesn't sit well with me, and I can understand why, but it's the final sector. Like,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
like,
I don't know, it's... Here you go on, you carry on.
no, I was mainly just going to say, because before Mexico come back onto the calendar, it used to just be like the sweeping right curve back onto the pit straight. And like, I mean, like, if you picture like one iconic moment from Mexico, you picture Nigel Mansell going round outside of Gerhard Berger there on the final lap to take second place. And I can understand why they removed that. That's purely like a safety measure, that. But I don't understand why they've went into. I can get why they went into that stadium section. It used to be a former baseball pitch as well. So, but I don't understand why it's like a really tight left in there, followed by a really tight right. It makes it really inconvenient for the drivers, and it does actually like alter like the setup as well. Like, I would assume you would try and take, you'd maybe put a bit more front wing on just for like that grip in that final sector, and a bit more like just general grip, downforce, and turning ability as well. So would you actually, is it important to actually tweak your setup to suit the final sector? To make sure you don't lose any time or as little time?
Yeah, I mean, if that was just a full-on right-hander, or a double apex right-hander, whatever it would be, I think, yeah, I think it'd be a bit less downforce, but I think you need the downforce anyway for the middle sector, as well, yeah. It's left, right, left, left, and then obviously it's a downforce heavy final sector as well, so I think there's a lot of downforce involved in the setup around here.
And that does make it like crucial to get the setup right as well, like, so you would need as little downforce on the car as you can to take full advantage on the straights, but you kind of need some downforce for the second sector as well. So like, it is fundamentally important to nail this setup to a T for this race, because I feel like setup can really be where it's won and lost here in Mexico City, as we see Jules looking up into that top left right we were just discussing briefly there. But I mean, if there is one corner I feel like drivers need to really get spot on, and you don't really look at it as a difficult corner at face value, but as a driver you'll know where this, like, where I'm going with this is the final turn. Like, and you were saying, like, you don't have enough, like, the straight is one of the biggest straights into turn one, but you still don't get enough time to make an overtake, plan an overtake, unless you're right on the rear end of the car in front.
Oh, you have well, yeah, you need a decent exit. It's a long old straight. Yeah, I mean, the only way you're going to overtake, obviously, is with DRS, really. Otherwise, you'd probably be stuck in a DRS train as well, which is kind of the nature of this track, especially with the long straight. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting turn one with the wet conditions, which will provide spanner into the works, and they definitely would have done. They definitely done a lot of, yeah, they definitely would have done a lot of practice in the dry. So,
definitely. I don't feel like wet practice is prioritised as much as dry practice, for example. But I mean, I think maybe in terms of turn one, as we see Steve spinning on the lap. Oh, and Steve-O is. I think he took too much of that inside curb on the wee right there, like, because that is it's a what kind of curbs do you call them? Sausage curbs. That's what they are.
Yeah, that's the one.
You call it a wee sausage curb. It's got like it's a very noticeable curb, and I think that's just unsettled the car. And I think it's probably just a mix of unsettling the front of the car as well as lighting up the rears a bit too aggressively there, and that's resulted in the spin that Steve-O's just experienced there. But I mean, back to like what you were saying, the race start's going to be quite important, but at the same time, as you were saying, there is maybe going to be a wee spanner or two thrown in the mix, especially with the heavy rain conditions that we're anticipating and the long run down to turn 1. You never know, they might chuck a spanner in there, they might chuck the full toolbox, we don't know until we're there, but and already we're getting some chat action for Freeman saying, come on Steve-O, and immediately after that he's like, no. I'm assuming that's his reaction to the spin.
Yeah, we've got 4 drivers at the moment who haven't set time. That's including the 2 Red Bulls. We'll have only 2 of the drivers left down the bottom there will go out of qualifying unless there's a crash, of course. Lewis had a quali ban and he will be starting from last, but I remember when he started last in Austria, he didn't do too bad, so yeah, Orange Crush goes up to P11.
Orange Crush up to 11th there, right there, Max, 117.2. He is safe at the minute, with the 18 drivers. Lewis is, as you were saying quite rightly there, he's picked up a qualifying ban and he'll be starting from the back of the grid. But I mean, he'd probably be picking it, it'll be tickling his funny bone starting on the back of the grid because he started at the back there in Austria, and you said to yourself, did he do too shabby? Freeman says in the chat, Steve-O for the win. Steve-O's currently 17th. We're watching Scott come across the line. 18-0. It's invalidated though, so it's still going apply. Steve-O is currently 17th. Freeman, pretty close in the midfield so far.
To be fair,
Actually,
if you
right
look
there,
from first at the moment to 11th, that's within a second, so it's not too bad. I mean, it's quite close. I mean, I'm sure the times will get even quicker. Darkson and Gareth, well, I remember watching last week and them 2 dominated out front. So much of the same here at the moment. I think Darkson will have I think he's pretty much sealed the deal in the championship almost. So yeah.
All
He'll
but
be
over,
looking.
but I mean,
He'll be looking to. Yeah, I think he'll be looking to just keep finishing the races. So yeah, I'm sure he'll be moving up divisions in next season as Scott joins the 1 minute 16 club.
Up into 9th. 3,000 a second off sweaty confetti.
Steve-O on the lap.
We'll sit on board with Steve-O as he's coming through the S section in the sector 2 at the moment. Doesn't really take as much of the exit as you really want to be taking there. Takes it rather tight there, but into the final sector we go. He's going to have all the fans there waving and probably chanting his name tail out today in the chat. But he does take that final sector a lot better than he did before. Kind of misses the apex for the final turn, lets the car roll out to the outside and tucks it back into the inside to go as close to the wall as he possibly can. A 17.7 puts our time on the board. A time on the board, but the time keeps him in the same place.
Yeah, we'll have a look. V-dubs on the lap to get him away from the drop zone. And I think he'll be safely through. Another one in the 16.8. Nedclaw as well is about to start. Will probably be his final flying lap of this qualifying session. We'll see if Steve-O has enough fuel for another run. But yeah, we have Orange Crush in the pit lane. So as he's coming out of the pits actually. So and is his teammate. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do.
I'm kind of feeling at the Red Bull camp they're gonna have to use Zach as the bait here and try and help, as we see Sprightly retiring. I think he's just retired in the pits. But back to the main focus with the Red Bull team, I feel like Zach is really going to have to serve the role as the front driver, as the leading driver on the lap, try and help Orange Crush in the first sector with the two big straights and try and maximise that slipstream. And as long as Orange Crush can nail the braking zone and the quick 1-2-3 chicane at the start, I feel like that could heavily influence his final time in this session. But we are on board with Steve-O. He is on his flying lap and potentially his final one. He's only got 30% ERS, and it is quickly decreasing on this run, so he's not going to have too much to play with, and he might even need to conserve this lap.
Ned Claus put himself out of the bottom 2. Bottom 3 as it is, but yeah, and the bottom 2 are still running. He's put himself only up to 14th fast on the 16.9. So yeah, Steve-O is up obviously, but I'm sure he has a lot of time. The other Ferrari retires in the pit lane as we see a whole host of retirements start to come flooding in. With 50 seconds to go, can Steve-O pull himself out of the drop zone? I'm sure everyone will be hoping that he can. Wait and see. Oh, that's wide. Oh, that is.
With the one, he's went. Oh, that was.
He's improved.
Trying
He's
to
only
fin some time.
17 fastest. I'm not quite sure what kind of line that was. Yeah, I mean, I've got no words for that.
I've never seen anything like that in my puff. They're very. It's a very. How would you explain that? That's a very unconventional line, I would say. I don't think that would be the line you really want to be taking. I mean, I try and kind of cut as much time as you possibly can off your final lap time and your final product, but at the same time, I feel like trying to do that really hindered his exit. Because you did still see the car kind of fishtailing on exit. So I don't know if that was maybe Steve-O's best interest, but it doesn't improve his time much. It does bring an improvement.
Orange Crush is out.
And Orange Crush is the final
Zach
to be
put himself up to P10. Joel says slurred line. Yeah, I don't know if Steve-O has been drinking or not.
I mean, if he was drinking, we would immediately, the team would be hovering him out the car and nowhere near it if that was the case. But he does seem to be cruising back, so he is going to be eliminated in qualifying. It'll be
no fuel. He can retire on track if he likes, because he is literally the last person on the track.
He's going to be sharing that back row with Lewis. I'm quite surprised that he cut across the track there, but I mean, he's kind of want to keep it fair, keep it reasonable. But as he comes across the Emirates banner there into the pit lane, he goes. Checker flag is out, signalling the end of the first qualifying session of 3 here in Mexico City, and Steve-O, Crush and Lewis are our eliminees. And because there is only 18 drivers, there is only 3 exiting the session. Just going to have a wee look at the chat. Freeman did say the cut-off point was going to be a 1690, a 17.1. I think he's kind of nailed that one.
16.9, yeah. 9 tenths, 9 and a bit tenths covers the top 15, or 15 drivers that through, I should say.
Definitely looking close here in this session, especially that big block of time between, I'd maybe even say like original and fourth all the way down to, I would even maybe say like Scott Laney, Ned Claw there as well. I feel like there's a lot of kind of, like this is like a big grey area. Like we don't really know how that's going to go, because we don't know how good the drivers' runs were, how poor they were, how they can improve, and how they want to go about maximising their lap time. But I feel like doing for original in that session, for original down to Ned Claw, is a kind of big turning point and a big talking point there, like which we'll need to keep focus on as the sessions progress. I kind of feel like that's where it's going to be won and lost. Dark Zen and Gareth look extremely quick that session. We've never seen much of them, but that was purely because they put in their times quite early on in the session, and I think they just kind of settled for that. I never really seen them out on track all that much. They escaped the coverage for the broadcasters there, but hopefully we can see them this time around as we head into Q2 and
your
3.
your mic's cutting out for me, but I don't know if that's just me.
Is that right? Is it working now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is
I
it
don't know.
working?
I might.
Test,
Yeah,
test,
it's
1
working.
2 1 2 test test. Aye, that's fine. But no, one thing I'm noticing here, Mercs, in the pit lane is it doesn't look as sunny as it was in Q1. The clouds are starting to loom over the circuit. Are we expecting any rain during the qualifying?
Not at the moment. Well, they only get the first little bit of qualifying, and they don't really know. But yeah, I think it looks fairly sunny still at the moment. If it starts getting overcast, then we will know that something's coming.
Like, we can see the sunshine in the first sector at turn 1, 2 and 3, but when you see the other side of the circuit, it looks really dull and gloomy. Like, it looks completely dark in the final sector. I mean, we'll probably see it when we ride on board with one of the drivers out on circuit, but we'll see who's going to set the lap.
Neelix, I think.
Neelix. We'll sit on
Yeah,
board with Neelix as he comes through the second sector, warming up the tyres, warming up the car, getting himself sorted for another run. But you can see it there in the distance there to your left there. It's kind of darker over there, and it did look like it was swimming over here. If it does start to rain,
It does get a bit.
fans have got something.
Let's get a
bit
bit
of rude awakening coming to
cloudier
them.
coming down into sector 3, but seems alright at the moment.
But he does start his flying lap. I'm just going to sit
Just
on
while we
board
watch
with
this.
Neelix for this full lap.
Orange Cross says I should hang my wheel.
You should
I
hang
mean,
your will. Oh, your will? I was like saying
Your wheel.
hang your will, and I'm like, what, hang your will? I was like, alright, that's maybe a bit grim.
His
Crush,
wheel that he
but,
drives with. That's what you say.
You can ask Red Bull for a replacement wheel if you want. See if Christian Horner will bide by that. I doubt he will, but it's always about making putting the practice in, putting the time in, tweaking your setup, getting yourself familiarised with the circuit, getting your lines nailed into a T, reference points, braking points, strategies, overtaking opportunities. Everything gets processed by the driver as the route on track, as we see Neelix coming into the final sector. Got a bit of traffic in front of him, he's got Dark Zenon, and I think that's a racing point there in front as well. I think that will be Sweaty
Let's
Confetti.
get out of the way. Oh!
On
No.
Zenon's and Neelix has had to slam on the brakes there for Dark Zenon. I think Zenon was just getting.
It's
I
a
think
big
Zenon was
block.
trying to give himself some space for Sweaty Confetti, and he's unconsciously just blocked Neelix's lap there. Neelix had to slam on the brakes, so Neelix was on time, on par for a decent lap there, but he's put an 18.1 in, which is not going to get him through into Q2. So he does definitely need to go again. I don't know if I think he'll try and maybe save some ERS on this lap here and try go for another run and then leave his final run to the end. But I've jumped on board with Jules, and there's a bit of there's a Toro, so his teammates out on the grass on the exit of one, and you had a bit of traffic on the inside. You've got Ned Claude driving by the Alfa Romeo of Craig there into turn 1 as well. So I mean, as the with Dark Zenon subconsciously blocking Neelix, and with a bit of a Sunday traffic into turn 1, 2 and 3 there, is this track actually quite bad for traffic on your flying laps, or is it really hard to find space for your flying runs on this track, Mercs?
I think it's probably with the volume of cars. I suggest, but I mean, the final sector is where all the traffic is really, where it starts to appear. So yeah, I think that's where you need to look out for cars. And And also I think, well, if you're on your outlap, I think you have to get out of the way, really. Make sure you're not hindering other people's laps.
I feel like also like staying out of the way of the drivers is kind of just common courtesy, like an unwritten rule. I mean, it probably is a formal rule, obviously, because it does bring a penalty when it comes to blocking a lap on qualifying. And I feel like even though Dark Xenon probably didn't act with a premeditated action or a bit of intent behind that blocking, but I feel like Neelix might still have an argument there, and maybe could take that to the stewards for blocking, because Neelix did really have to slam on the brake. We were on board with Neelix, and he did have to slam on the brakes. So he's completely, not only to kill the momentum in his car, it nearly caused an accident down into the back of Dark Xenon, and it's also completely killed his lap time as well. Luckily enough, he's been able to go fastest there with a 15.7 on his second run. But I mean, I still feel like he's going to have a bit of a case if he was to take that to the stewards.
Yeah, I mean, he's fully entitled to put that to the stewards, and well, it was a big block on his lap. Of course, he's gone fastest, so it may not matter, but yeah, I mean, he has to do another flying lap on those tyres, so you know.
Anything else we can see on track, Mercs? The track is quite quiet. I feel what I can see.
Mercs, Haas, and bit overcast. Freeman says any rain for quali. Just a bit overcast at the moment, so yeah, it doesn't look. Sun is still trying to peek out, so yeah, we'll wait and see on that one.
The sun has decided to disappear behind the clouds. It is getting darker here. The prospect of rain it might not even come as too much a surprise, because it is continuously getting darker. Like, and even if you kind of like look into the distance, it kind of just looks like there could be rain on the way. So maybe there is rain to be anticipated. We don't have that information on hand. We just have to kind of hear from what with the information that we get fed to us by the drivers. Jules, I think it was Jules that said to you the rain was here for the start. Was it Jules that tell you?
Yeah, rain at the start. Well, it says heavy rain at the start, but we'll see if they start on full wet inters.
Excuse me. Kind of completely killing my throat there, but apologies for that inconvenience there. But sorry, Max. Just if you want to just continue your point, I feel like I've cut you off there.
At the bottom 5.
What are we seeing? We've got Ned Claw invalidated. We've got Dubs out on track, Gareth out on track, and you've got, well, Gareth's on the softs now, but I don't know if it's this same timing glitch that we see the drivers in the elimination zone on the medium tyres. Crush does say heavy rain.
No,
he doesn't say what for, but he was just confirming that weather information there for us on the chat. But why is it telling us I don't know. I don't think they went for medium tyres. I think it'd be brave to go for medium tyres, especially if the race is going to start as heavy rain.
Yeah, but if you changed your spectator menu, it would say.
So do I have to? I've got the telemetry added.
Yeah, it should say fitted instead of best on there.
See. Right. I've had it on best this full time, so that's what their times are on at the moment. We'll see what they're fitted on the car. Everybody is on the soft tyre. I feel like the soft tyre, especially considering the information that we're being given to us about the race start being in heavy rain conditions, I feel like soft tyres is probably the way we should be going with this session. So I'm trying to kind of anticipate where the cut-off point would be. I would assume it would continue to be with Freeman saying about a high 16. Maybe bring it a bit lower down into like the mid to high 16 range, because this track I mean, I don't even know actually, because if the weather continues to get gloomier and it continues to get darker, that's going to bring the temperatures down. And then if the temperatures come down in the car, if like the tyres, if it comes down in the brakes, if it comes down in the track, then you're not going to get that optimum timing. So as I feel like the clouds kind of starting to loom over the circuit could really start to hinder some drivers who have to put in the best qualifying laps. So like maybe also the folk in the eliminations or in the 17s and the 18s if you're counting Jules in that bracket as well. And with the cut-off point being shifted from the 16.9 to 17.1 that Freeman was predicting in the chat, is going to be shifted forward into the 16s, at least into the middle of the 16s,
Yeah,
to the
there
high
we go.
16s.
16.7 at the moment as the cut-off point with
That was-
Hickland.
And that was Hickland just completing a lap there with 16.7, so he's kind of like still on that cusp.
Oh,
The
Sprightly
cut-off point
goes
that we're anticipating to see.
10th fastest.
I was about to say, where's Sprightly? He's not even on the leaderboard, and then it was just like one up for Hickland, so
Oh,
it was
Scott's
really too hard
pitted,
to find him after
so
that.
I think he'll have enough time to get in and out again, but he's in danger. Who's next across the line? I think a Red Bull.
Zaka's Beast comes through the final turn, kind of takes it quite tight, comes out the pits, does they even bother completing that lap. But we've seen Scott just dart into the pits there, Zaka's Beast just darted in there as well. Obviously you've got your favourites being the Williams driver because you are a current Williams driver for Division 1, like your teammate is Ryan Williams, so I'm assuming you will be having your support fully behind Dark Zenon, who's also driving the Williams, because teams got to stick out for the team. But like, I feel like also like, and I'm Scottish, so I'll back my Scottish boys. And I feel like Scott is probably like quick enough to get himself into the top 10. And see, even if he isn't, like, if there's one thing I want to point out about Scott is he has got like incredibly quick reactions on the start. Like, because the last few races that I've commentated on with him in it, he's done really well in the start. Like even like last time out in Japan, he started like it was the third row, so he started like fifth, and he got up to like second after turn 2. He was able just to get a good bolt after the start. Nice smooth traction on exit, off the slot rather, and he just loomed around the outside of the drivers on the inside in the first 2 turns and was up to second place there as well. And it was him and Gareth for a bit. As I'm trying to see if my mind served me correctly, it probably will not. I'll probably completely kill who it was that was in first place at the time. I'm sure it was Zenon. No, it wasn't, because he had an accident. He got caught up and it'll come back to me. But I'm trying to actually kind of see, like, I don't think anybody higher than Scott Laney will be coming back out for another lap. I think everybody above Scott Laney's fine. Would you agree? Are you here? Mercs, test, 1, 2. Mercs! Well, I'll just take over for Mercs while he catches up. But we are in the final minute of qualifying 2. Everybody above Scott Laney, like we were saying there, have opted to stay in the pit lane. We're going to see who we can ride on board with. Scott starts his lap, so we'll sit on board the Ferrari. I'll take a lap on board with you as he does run down into turn 1. You want to brake just after the 100 metre board and let the car swoon in there in third gear, and then you're quickly followed by turn 2, and then turn 3 that arrives to you even quicker. You want to take a bit maybe a wider exit on 3 there and quickly open that DRS. As soon as you see that line underneath your car, you flick the switch and you get the DRS open. Chuck the car to the right for turn 4, and it's very tight, and again another turn quickly follows you there as you see turn 5, and then you've got a wee mini break here before a double apex at turn 6 and 7 as Merckx actually leaves the party. So Merckx was having a bit of connection issue, but he is in the second sector here at the moment as Hickland moved out the way there in the Mercedes, and he doesn't really seem to have too much grip here for what we can see, but this is a quick S section here. Is they the same It's similar to Silverstone in the United States, but Mexico does seem to have a bit very a challenge. But Scott, you've seen his rear end being a bit loose there through the left and right early on, but he did get it together on the second part of that sector, but he does navigate the final sector there, keeps the ERS enriched, which means he's going to burn out the ERS on the exit of the final turn. A bit of jittery steering there, while he keeps the Ferrari close to the wall. A 16.7 puts him 12th fastest, and that isn't enough to get him into Q3. It is a disappointing qualifying there for Scott, but he will be using that time to go back to the garage, regroup, and talk to his strategist, his team there, and try and nail an optimum strategy for the race. And even with the heavy rain being anticipated from the start, he should be looking to make up a few places, because he does have that particular accolade of making a good few places off the start, as we see Jules just completely cut the second part of the final sector there and overtakes Hicklin. I think Hicklin's actually ran out of fuel, but in the midst of all this, we've missed the checkered flag being waved to signal the end of this session. Sprightly just makes it through to Q3. One Ferrari makes it through, another has to sit out the final session. The Red Bull Zach's Beast there will be the last car to come back into the pits. Yellow flags in the third, and I think that's for the Alfa Romeo of Craig as he comes into the pits. But Zach's Beast is going to be the last driver into the pits. Doesn't need to complete the lap because he is safely through to the third and final session here in Mexico City, as we see the big fella joining the session for like the 5th time in this session alone. So he'll be potentially looking to get into a car. I think he is a new driver as well, so I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong in that one. Zach's Beast just opts to finish the lap, improves by 35 thousandths of a second. He sat 9th, he stays 9th, so didn't really need to put the lap in. Kind of puts a wee bit more wear on the tyre, but I mean, just to improve on your time, then that's fair enough. But Q2 is over. The skies continue to get darker, the track continues to get colder. Q3 could be a bit different to the first two, as we see Neelix topping the timesheet after being blocked early on in Q2 by Dark Zenith. I don't know if that matter will be taken further, we'll only have to wait and see what happens with that. Gareth there, a strong showing, and Dark Zenith a full 10th behind, so top 3 really kind of keeping in close range of each other there before playing Teddy, who's 3/10 off Dark Zenith in 4th place. Scott Laney, who's changed the game tag again, back in 5th place there. They were all safe and opted to stay in. Dubs, Craig, Sweaty Confetti, Zach's Beast and Sprightly are all through to Q3, and Hicklin, Scott, Original Jules and Ned Claw are the 5 drivers eliminated from the qualifying 2, and will have to sit out the 3rd and final session. I'm going to have a wee look at the chat and see what's happening while Q3 loads up for us. Owen Hill says Sprightly for pole. Sprightly just made it in, so Sprightly is in contention for that pole position. And he also says Zenith to win the title tonight. I heard title for a simp. I honestly have absolutely no clue what a simp is, so if somebody can clarify that for me in the chat, please let me know, and I apologise if that is an inappropriate term to be using. Crispy also follows up with that, same as Rangrich. Orange Crush says not sure, he blocked someone in the hot lap, not sure if it got recorded. Crush, we did cover that in the chat, not in the chat, in the stream, sorry, so there is some footage of that there. I mean, I don't know if it is going to really get flagged. I mean, it's up to Neelix to put that report in, so we can only see what happened. Crush says Crush to win, so Crush is kind of chucking his weight behind his cell there. As I'm rejoined by Mex. Mex had a small connection issue there, so I'm hoping to have him here for the rest of the stream. I was wondering what happened, because I was sitting like Mex, like I was just like kind of shouting on you, and I was like, he's no answering me, and I had to actually like flick onto the party to see if you were still here, and then you were still here, but you're only like connecting or disconnecting or nothing, and I was like, alright, okay, I don't know if he's maybe just decided to go and take a toilet break or go and get something to eat or whatever during his shift, but alright, but I'm just having a quick flick through the chat. I mean, I think that was maybe just a small connection issue on Xbox's end there, but hopefully that's it sussed out. I'm just quickly reading through the chat as we're in the early stages of Q3. I will invite you into the game if you've not been invited already.
I think I'm going to
How
be running.
how did I change it? Oh right, okay, I found it. Right, apologies for the blank screen. I know I'm trying to get my co-commentator in, back in the booth with me as we invite Max back in. We are on board with Neelix, and the main chat, the chat seems to have a bit of a focus on Neelix. We were at him in the chat now. Rangrich asked who blocked who, and then Max, you confirmed that yourself, saying Xenon blocked Neelix on the qualifying. Steve-O confirms that Big Fowler is a new driver and is a late entry for today, so he will be joining. I don't know what car he's in, so if we can clarify that to me in the chat, please be sure to let me know. I've absolutely no idea. I was like, oh, he's a new driver, and then everybody's like, ah, he's a new driver, and I was like, alright, okay, so I'm just going to confirm that. Original says, bring on USA, I hate Mexico. Me and Mex share not a distaste for Mexico, but we don't really rate Mexico too highly. I mean, the atmosphere's great, but the track nature itself is a bit challenging, and it just doesn't really suit my driving style personally. I don't know what Mex's particular criticisms are of that, if you want to kind of dig back into that
usually
hole.
I'm usually quite smooth, but yeah, it's hard to be smooth when you got tyres that don't turn in for you.
I feel like the main issue is going to be...
that's close.
I thought that was 5 thousandths of a second there. I thought that was a 7-1 instead of a 5-1, so that's 2500ths of a thousandths of a second. And the sun, one thing I want, like, we'll obviously kind of cover there, we were sitting theorising about the weather changing, but the sun's deciding to break its way back through the clouds, and it's starting to shine on turn 1, 2 and 3 again, because I was just on board with Neelix there, and it does look a lot lighter in that particular section, so maybe this very wild left field hypothesis for rain is kind of just been chucked out the window for qualifying, but it is definitely here for the race for what our understanding is.
Whether it's full wets or winters, we don't know, but it does say heavy rain at the start and it will dry up, which is a recipe for a good race, usually.
We love to see some rain. That brings a whole new challenge to the drivers as well, and it brings them a whole new dynamic to try and combat as well. Is there anything out on track that we're noticing at the moment? I'm having a wee look through the chat. Says Smoke says Steve-O for his first win tonight. I mean, we've seen wins for the back of the grid before, so I mean, anything can really happen in these races. Zenon for pole says Freeman. Oh, get your pole position predictions in. Because I've just completely forgot to ask. Freeman says Steve-O's winning tonight. Crush says we can do it, Steve-O.
If Steve-O wins, then I don't know. That would be a miracle. From 17th, I think. I know we've seen it from them before, but Mexico is not exactly a track like Austria where you can make up positions, but we don't know. We don't know.
I feel like Mexico's a 30... Is it a 36 lap race? Mexico?
Yes, it is.
It's 72 in real life, aye. Right,
it's 71 actually.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. But it's a 36 lap race, so it's 36 laps for Steve-O to try and climb his way up the order. So I would never say never, but I mean if Steve-O wins, and I mean in the nicest way of putting it, from 17th on the grid to the front of the grid, I think you would need maybe a few accidents here and there, maybe elbows out at a couple of turns at a couple of drivers, and a couple of drivers just to speed into each other or something, just to kind of help him out along the way. But I mean, Steve-O is a quality driver there as well. If he wasn't a quality driver, he wouldn't be driving. That's simply put. So I feel like Steve-O, and he's had strong runnings before, so he does definitely have potential to try and repel himself into the points.
Yeah, he needs a bit of luck. I think obviously starting back there, you do need luck, a bit of luck to go your way, a bit of strategy to go your way, and obviously you need to keep it on the track yourself. As oh my god, Plain Teddy has binned it and managed to keep all 4 tyres and full complement of front wing. I was just sitting on board with him. I saw he was gonna laugh, and he's just got a slide, caught it, and then he's caught it, but then he's spun the other way.
Has
Um,
could you like just confirm that? Could you just confirm what really happened? Like he was facing backwards on the Delta line, so I'm assuming they just
so
had a big step
basically,
at oversteer and they lost it.
yeah. So you come through that left-hander, the last left-hander of those uh, S's, I'll call them, and then he's lost the. Wait, has Gaz retired from the session? I'm sure he's coming out on track. That is interesting.
Max, can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
I've seen I've seen a term in the chat, and the chat haven't confirmed it for me, right? And I've said it on the stream, and I'm honestly not going to lie. I don't know if it's an offensive slur or not.
What's that?
Because they've said simp.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of
Is that
just.
bad?
No. It depends which way you take it, to be honest.
I'll
I don't really
try
know
and
how
avoid
to.
using it.
I don't really know how to
Like,
explain it myself, but yeah. Anyway,
I don't
on
really
to
want to. I
Plain
don't really want to
Teddy.
keep throwing it about if it's an offensive slur, so we'll try and avoid that for the now, and you can clarify that to me later on post race. But with just under 4 minutes left, Mercs. Tough question, but who are you rooting for? Who are you? Plain Teddy for Paul? Alright, okay.
No, alright. I mean, as in, why Plain Teddy
Oh.
spun? He came through the left-hander, lost the back end, caught it, and then his car just pirouetted round, and then he was going rearwards into the barrier, basically.
So he just had a bit of a moment coming through the second sector, and the car's just not really been fully cooperative with him, and it's just decided just to snap him in just like that. I mean, I feel like qualifying is your practice session as well as your qualifying, because I feel like when I have a particular incident in qualifying, like say if I done what Terry did, like I would completely change my mentality and mindset through that sector for the race just to avoid that particular accident happening again. I don't know if that's just normal driver psyche or that's just me being overly cautious and pedantic.
I don't know. I think it's going to be different conditions to the race, but I think it's qualifying free, so I guess he just wanted to push as much as he could as we are starting to see the final runs. Who have we got?
2.5.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mercs, just to cut across you there. 2.5 minutes, pole position. Who's it going to be?
Yeah. Zenon.
I'll say Neelix just to be different, just so there's a bit of conflict in the commentary booth. I'm looking through the chat and I feel
Ferrari
like Ferrari of Sprightly. Let me see what else Sprightly's doing as we
6
ride on
tenths
Golden
up.
through the final sector. 6 tenths up would put him to a 16.5, which would put him possibly 6th place. Let's see how he takes the final sector. Takes it quite clean actually, looked quite quick as he comes across the line now. 16.4 puts him to 6th. I was correct with that prediction,
Yeah.
but he will probably be looking to save ERS and go again. He'll have enough time to go in for another final bonsai lap. Crush
Definitely.
says Neelix for pole. Rangrich says, is it Rangrich? Am I saying that right? He says Goat to win. Steve got put in Q1, so I don't know. Oh, to win the race, so Goat's got a lot of work today. If the Goat's to win, Steve says he'll take top 10. I mean, I think top 10 starting for 17th would probably be like a very extraordinary result. Like it'd be a result you could be like really proud with, because it's a really
I'd take that
difficult
from
track to
there.
overtake at Mexico. Like 17th to
Neelix
10th.
is down.
I mean,
By the way.
he's done by just under 4 tenths of a second. He'll be looking to go again, but he's not got the ERS to go again, so Neelix might have his qualifying cut short here. Comes into the
His
pits,
box.
so Neelix is out of the running for pole position, sits second. Second will be the best he gets in this session. And that is all subject to change.
Who else we
Gareth's
got on
also
the
in
lap?
pits as well.
That's a shame for Gareth. Must have ran out of time or something. Or invalidated. Zach on the lap. Don't know how quick this is. He's boxed in as well. Interi not improving. Williams on a lap. It says out lap, but he's invalidated anyway, so whatever. I think that's a bit of a glitch on the out lap, because he was definitely starting a lap, but he's invalidated anyway. So that's... We're going into a bit of an anti-climax here. We've got Sweaty Confetti up on his lap, though, having said that, so could be a late charge for pole position, or at minimum a front row. We'll see as he comes around the final corner now. It's not.
And it's only 5th fastest there.
Just a minor improvement.
Craig's down by 6.8 seconds, so I doubt he's going to really improve on this one. I think he's out of fuel as well, Merck, so he's not really good. I think he's just going to dive out the pits, which he does. Sprightly, I've not seen what his delta times are, so this will be a complete surprise to me what his time is. I think he might just be slower on his time. He's improved by 23 thousandths a second, I'll take that. So there we have it. Merckx gets his prediction right, and Dark Xenon gets pole position by 25 thousandths of a second.
Only just. There's a long run down to turn 1, of course.
See, that's the kind of question, though. Do you want to be in pole position at Mexico? I feel like you'd be very exposed to be in pole position. Even on the front row.
Spray
like
this time as well.
On the spray as well, so could see, as you were saying earlier, could just see a spanner just getting chucked into the machine there, and we could see a completely different dynamic and outcome. But the final qualifying session sees Dark Xenon reign supreme and take pole position, and Neelix starts alongside. So it's a William Haas front row. Plain Teddy is close behind there in 3rd place in the racing point, so it's and Gareth is 4th, so 4 different constructors in the top 4. Racing Point in 5th place with Sweaty Confetti, Craig in 6th with the Alfa Romeo, Sprightly representing Ferrari in Q3 with a 7th place finish. Zach is Beast Red Bull. I think he abandoned his final lap there as well, so I don't think he improved. And Dubs and Scott Laney round out the top 10. In this 5-minute interval, this is your interval, this is your klaxon, your warning to go and get yourself a nice wee drink, something to eat, your toilet break, stretch your legs, engage with myself and Merckx, as the rain is really coming down, and it's coming down thick and fast, Merckx.
I'm going to look on the race director. It says intermediate tyres on the race director, so yeah, they are starting on inters. Interesting to see.
So Merckx will give me the rundown on when the official time is confirmed for the race start. So this is your time to
2 minutes past.
Use this as break. 2 minutes past 10 is the starting time, so you've got 5 minutes. As you're saying there.
I'm going to take a short break myself, actually. So yeah.
Is that right? Who said you could take a break?
Me.
Oh, no worries. I'll stay here and engage with the chat. If the chat has any questions, please be sure to file them in the chat. This is your time to go down the stairs and get yourself a nice drink, a nice bit of food, nice bit of toast, cereal, whatever you fancy. Toilet break, stretch your legs, exercise, whatever. Get yourself comfy, because I feel like this race is going to be extremely exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to it. We are going to start at 2 minutes past 10, so we've just got under 4 minutes left before the formation lap commences. If you've got any questions or queries, file them in the stream chat, and we will cover them in this short interval, because I'll still be here. Merckx is away taking a short break himself, so he'll be back momentarily. And if you want to predict the top 3, so the podium, and if you want to be brave, you can predict the fastest lap as well. And we'll see what the predictions are. I don't really know how this is going to go, so I'm going to play it safe and say, and not really share my prediction. I'll make Merckx day his though, so can I catch him out with that? I'm going to look through the chat and see what the main engagement is about in regards to heavy rain at the start. As is more or less confirmed now. We can see there on the screen that it's starting to bucket down there with the rain. Looking through the chat, Gaz retired in the pits in qualifying. I don't know what happened to him. Rangrich says he'll do something after the race and doesn't want to cut the stream by accident. If something like that, if any technical difficulties arise in the stream, please be sure to let myself or Mercs know through the chat, and we'll get that covered. I was just highlighting if there is any stream issues, just to get them to get in touch with us.
There you go.
I'm just looking through the chat to see what's really been happening. Heavy rain at the start's been more or less confirmed there. I've got the umbrellas out, the finish flag we can see there on the stand above the pit lane is flying high and proud for the Finnish drivers here. I don't actually know if there's any Finnish drivers in this Division 3, but I mean, I could be wrong, and I do apologise if I'm missing you out. Riggs used the word pedantic during the stream, big words. I am just a big thesaurus when it comes to commentary. Freeman says no bad for Sprightly. I'm just going to look through the chat. There is more messages below. I'm just
seeing a lot of recent messages saying about moisture.
Oh, moist. Moist is, I don't know. Moist is one of the kind of words that it's like the Marmite of vocabulary. Like, folk either love the word or hate the word. It's neither here or there. Freeman says Inters. I think Inters was what you were saying before you left. Inters is the tyre of choice. Freeman's predicted a podium of just Steve-O, and Steve-O, so you never know that could happen. Use the word pedantic again. Pedantic. Original says it's got to dry up later towards 3 or 3/4. I'm assuming that's 3/4 of the race. Freeman just decides to capitalise very moist, and Jules just follows it up with moisture, and everybody's just kind of, I think they're just kind of tearing me a new one with the word moist, so I'm not going to buy into this ridicule. But Max, while I've got you here, before the formation lap starts, who are you tipping for the win? Because I've seen in the chat Dark Zenon, from the chat's understanding, needs second regardless to win the title here in Mexico.
Yeah, well, he might have a penalty coming his way anyway. So for that blocking quality, obviously, if that gets sent in, so he might need to clear everyone by a bit of a distance. But yeah, I'm gonna say I think I'm going to. I don't know. I'd say Dark Zone is certainly the favourite. And I can't really think of anybody else it would be. But you never know, of course. I don't think what happened in the last wet race in Div 3. I'm not really sure. So I'd say you can't really look past Zenon for the win. I was going to go for a top 3. I'd say Zenon, Gareth, then I'm going to say Gaz.
Gaz for the podium. To round out the podium, Gaz starts, I'm trying to see where his pass is, he starts 9th, so he's got a bit of work today. And the formation lap is go. And I'm going to get all the information up and see what we're all in. Intermediate is the tyre of choice, which you were confirming in the race director there for us. But just looking on board the broadcast camera there as we see Dark Zenon into turn 1, there's a lot of spray. And you couldn't even see like the back half of the grid there in that spray, so I don't know what that's going to be like in race conditions. So anybody behind Zenon and Neelix will hope it.
I wonder if it is heavy rain at the moment. At this current stage, it is heavy rain, but the inners are, well, kind of like that crossover point, so it might be a bit sketchy the first couple of laps.
I feel like in race trim, the cars are going to be filled to the brim with fuel. Drivers are going to be very out of their depth in terms of wet testing for Mexico. as you were saying, in qualifying, like drivers don't really opt to practice in the wet conditions as regularly as they do in the dry. So this is a whole new experience for some drivers.
Someone's going
driving in the
slow.
wet. Oh, they're Dana Riggs. Who is it? It's Craig.
Craig.
Excellent.
So yeah, Craig with a
back a wee bit
slow formation up a little bit there. So yeah, I actually like this track more in the wet than I do in the dry. So there's a fun fact for everyone.
I think this track is really bad for tyre stress and degradation, but when it becomes an intermediate race, it becomes a lot more relaxed. Despite the challenge in the wet being still very excessive and very high, I still feel like it's easier to navigate in the wet because the tyre degradation isn't as strenuous a job. But we'll have to see how these 19 drivers navigate and deal with the situation in the scenario here, as we see the big Fowler there at the back in the Alfa Romeo partnering up with Craig for this race. Starting from the back of the grid and taking his final grid slot there as we're about to wait for the 5 red lights here. Umbrellas are out in force in the grandstand there. A couple of nationalities and flags in the stands there as well. We're waiting the lights. We're at 5 lights, so it says 1 on the screen, but we are off and racing here. The red lights flash on the back of the cars, and it's Zenon that leads the field away. Neelix seems to get a bit of a solid start, and I've got no good broadcast angle here, and the pack really starting to bunch up here in the spray. A couple of them hiding in the spray in the midst of the drivers in front is playing. Terry's up into second already. Neelix losing out there and fighting Terry there behind Zenon. He keeps the lead. Craig up to 4th already. Sprightly up to 5th. Gareth has a bit of a bogging start there, and he's down into 6th after starting in 3rd, I think that was. I think he was actually quite high up in qualifying there as well. I think everybody's still facing the right way, but I don't see any carbon fibre lying about the track. I see a few leaves blown about in the window and the umbrella army in the stand there, as we see a couple of drivers gone side by side into turn 4, and the pack is really starting to constantly up. There's the Mercedes at the back of the grid, and that's Hicklin. And Hicklin has got damage to that front wing. He's got no front right end plate on that Mercedes, so he's been caught up in some contact there in the mid pack. As we see, Dark Zenon continues to lead the pack away. Terry up into seconds. We'll have a look at the position changes because I feel like that would have been the best resource to have on the screen. So
Steve-O.
And we have to look at Steve-O up 6 places for the start, 17th to 11th, and he's already knocking on the door of the points paying positions. He's got Zaka's Beast right there in front, and he's got a big train there as well as he slides off and nearly, and there's a few drivers falling in sympathy there into the final sector, as this is where they all start to bunch up there. Umbrellas
the bollard is flying
in the stands, as we can see, and the bollard has taken a bit of just decided to just call it a day and fly off into the distance there for our understanding, as we see some I'm trying to look through the midfield and see what's happening here. Is Steve already shaping up a move on the Red Bull as Zach is beast as he tucks back into the slipstream, but back into the spray as well, so his vision will be impaired. Zach goes defensive. Steve-O round the outside. Steve-O trying to outbreak him round the outside. Does he go and try and make the move? They're going to go round side with side, and Steve-O makes the move. Hope that's in turn 2 if he can keep it, but he doesn't there, and he has a bit of a moment there, and he's lost out to Scott in the process there as well, so trying to make a move forward. Steve-O goes back a place there. And Jules there in 13th is looking to go side with Steve-O, and he's got the slipstream with Scott, and he's already on the grass on the brake, and he's going to tap the Ferrari, and the Ferrari's spun at turn 4, and they've made contact, and Scott's facing the back the wrong way. Lewis has had to take avoiding action, and he's had to go off the track there as well, and he's got his teammate Ned Claw.
Where's Steve-O going?
And Steve-O, where has Steve-O gone? Steve-O's he's just parking up on the exit of turn 7 there, as he has a bit of a moment there on the double apex there, and he's back at the back end of the field there. Hicklin kind of caught up on this pack with damage on that front wing, and I'm trying to catch my breath because I feel like I've
enthralling start. I'll let you rest there for a bit. I think not much. Not really cars falling off the track as we maybe expected. I think Laney has gone off the track himself. Steve-O had a moment going towards that little mini straight towards the double right-hander, and he just went straight across the grass and cut the corner and parked it up. But yeah, he's all done on all his good work. But yeah, Dark Zenon has just pulled away at the start, which is good news for him, and there's a bit of a train starting to form behind the Haas of Neelix, as Gaz is lining up a move. on the McLaren around the outside. It's going to be Brave there. Double lock up on the fronts. Yellow flag in sector 1, and I think that involves Stevo and the Toro Rosso.
This race has been quite hectic to keep up with on the first 3 laps there. Obviously the main point of action there would be Stevo's electric start there. We were sitting talking about Scott's electric start in qualifying, but it's Stevo who nicks the thunder for the start there, as Stevo went from 17th up to 11th already, banging on the door for points, and it was immediately wiped from its existence on lap 2 at turn 6. I honestly have no idea what happened there. I don't know if he got caught up in some rapid concertina effect, or he just made a mistake on his own accord.
I did actually see what happened. So basically, you got turn, I think it's 4 and 5, and you come out of turn 5, and then he's gone really wide at turn 5, and then he just cut across the grass. Basically cut the whole corner, picked up a 10-second time penalty for his troubles, and then he's facing the barrier and just stops like he was retiring the car. It was kind of odd on my screen, to be honest. But yeah.
It's just quick enough.
Plain Teddy within half a second.
Aye, Plain Teddy put in the fastest lap of the race there. Dark Zenon did look to try and extend the gap over Plain Teddy there, but Plain Teddy put in a exceptional lap there, and he's already
Lewis
on the back of the Williams.
Scott through turn 3.
And Lewis is up into 13th
he's
as well,
gone for
the back of the grid. Does he try and outbrake Scott on the inside of turn 4? He does. Scott trying to keep it on the outside of the inside of turn 5. He tries, takes the sausage curb on the entry to 5, but Lewis holds it round the outside, and he's got the Alfa Romeo of the big fella to navigate his way past. And he's getting a wee bit of a touch there on the rear right, and he's already made the move sticking Scott's back as well. And Fowler, I don't know if he got
I think he had a lag
bit
spike.
Of a tap there. He's got a bit of a lag spike there, but he had such a great start as well. He joined the session late, so he started from the back of the grid. He started 19th,
Yes.
and he was running up as high as 11th as well. So he got another great start as well. So while it was either drivers really bogged down on that start and lost so many places, or you got like
just
a really
a note.
electric getaway.
Look at this train for P3.
Neelix
On P4
really kind of
actually
starting
now.
to look like he's... Oh, Neelix starting to break away from this train. It's Craig that's deciding to pilot this train for the high points paying position. Sprightly up into 5th. Gareth has lost places. He was 4th at the start actually. I thought he was 3rd place, but it was actually 4th, so apologies for that small mistake, as Craig and Sprightly are in front. So drivers will really have a bit of a tough time trying to navigate the spray. We are sitting on board with Gareth on the run down to turn 4, and we get to see the spray and the flickering red light on the back of that Ferrari as Sprightly, but the drivers in real life would be like they would have so much more of a struggle trying to navigate that. Jules picks up a 3-second time penalty for excessive corner cutting there and multiple warnings. But one thing we really should kind of note from that start is Plain Teddy and Dark Zenon really looking to be on it, and they've built a 2.1 second gap over Neelix. Neelix was on the front in the row with Dark Zenon, but he didn't get that same launch as Dark Zenon did, and Neelix was immediately under threat for Teddy, as we see Gareth having a bit of a moment on the curb into the 3rd sector.
Orange Crush has just made a move, and Craig's left the session. Let's try and get him back in.
And the conductor for this train for 4th has decided to disconnect at the worst possible time. He's going to be a sick duck down this straight. We know how much time the AI lose to the what's the thing that we cause? The people. I'll call it now. Sprightly's right on the rear wing of this Alfa Romeo and immediately pulls into the inside. Scott goes fastest there, and Craig is giving Sprightly a bit of hassle on the defence, and Gareth might have even locked round the outside here, and Originals is starting to look into this particular battle as well, and he's already got to try and go round the outside of Gareth at turn 2, and he'll have the inside up to turn 3.
I think the disconnected Craig is causing a little bit of havoc here. Scott, I just seen set the fastest lap, so that's something.
And there's Gareth there as well. Sorry, Max, just to cut across there. Gone round the outside of Craig's AI there, and the entry to 4 takes the inside to 5, but they've caught on together, and Gareth is spun, and Gareth's been spun by Craig's AI, and Gareth is lost out there, and he's going to have to wait until the track's clear enough to come back on. As we see a slow Red Bull with Zach there as well on the apex of turn 5. He's going to make it hard for Steve-O and Scott Laney to come through there. The Red Bull of Gareth is still on the exit of turn 5. As we see Mex Facitas leave the session. Craig's decided to rejoin us once again, but
shame for
we've seen a
Gareth.
slow moving, and Gareth has really lost it.
He's
there.
lost all those positions from just the AI. Yeah, it's one of those. I think. What could he do? What could he do really? His rears are going now, as
And
well. But
and oh sorry.
yeah, I was just going to say,
What were you gonna say?
we're
Sorry.
talking about the Lewis OD starting last man specialist. Yeah, 7th place.
It's an honest work. It's honest work to go from 19th to. I think he was 18th. I think the big fella
Yeah,
took up the final
18th.
grid slot. But 18th to 7th, still a heavy shout there, especially for Lewis, as he needs to start picking up some points if he wants to keep himself in the running. Dark Zenon does continue to lead this race, and Neelix kind of starting to break away from this pack with Sprightly, who's 3.4 seconds behind. But that collision between Craig and Gareth has really broke up that train that we were starting to see form for 4th place. All the drivers are starting to become a bit more spaced out, so that is the really direct wheel-to-wheel action, and the closest wheel-to-wheel action other than the battle for the lead would be the battle between Steve-O and Hicklin, and then Scott Laney on Zach is Beast. So we'll keep a focus on the back of the field here to see if there's any battles. Oh, Plain Teddy is right on the rear wing of Dark Zenon there. I don't know if Dark Zenon got a bit of a poor exit on the final turn, but Plain Teddy's right in the slipstream of the Williams, and he's going to have that, and Craig's left again. We'll try and get him back in as Dark Zenon. Does he try bother? He does opt to defend the line into 1. He resumes the main race in line, but Plain Teddy looks so much more confident on the braking. I think in Formula 1, I think maybe it's easier to give chase than be chased. Like, I always like to have a car in front of me as a reference, and I feel like maybe Plain Teddy's kind of picking up on that as well, because he looks so much more confident. He's able to witness what Dark Zenon's lines are going to be and what his reference points are, and he's able to manipulate that and combat that to get his own benefit for that. So I think
Gaz
that's
is
maybe why
doing
we're
the
seeing
same
Plain Teddy
thing.
have such an advantage. And I think Gaz, you're right there, Mex, is right on the back of the originals as well. So I think Gaz is maybe sharing this similar experience with Plain Teddy as at the start. It's just they're taking the reference points from the drivers in front, and then they're going to utilise that at the best possible moment to try and make the move.
Yeah, so we might see a move from Gaz soon, as Darkson has gapped Teddy a little bit. Not by much, I'd say that.
I thought Gaz was going to try on the inside of the stadium section there, but we've got some side-by-side action into the stadium section as Craig is up the inside of Orange Crush, and that's the battle for 9th. And the big Faller takes a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. How the mighty of Faller. I will be here all night, folks. Don't you worry about a thing. Another thing we'll point out is Steve-O is kind of continuing his comeback. He did start 17th. He is up into 14th. He has gained some places.
Crush is going to come back at Craig here.
And Crush is going to go up the inside. He's on that wet patch of track on the inside. As Craig keeps the place.
Just out there.
I've been noticing, I don't know if it's just me, right, but I don't know if it's maybe just Craig's connection, and I mean, if it is, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's looked a bit uneasy in these slow corners. Like, obviously, just every corner on this track's slow, but like, he just doesn't look like he's got that car hooked up the way he wants to have it. Like, because he does look quite slow in some of these turns.
But
like,
I haven't said that, I think the track
turn 2 and 3
is drying out ever so slightly. It's the yellow flag.
When we've got the battle at the front again, Merckx, we've got Teddy right on the rear wing of Zenon once again.
Oh, look at him pushing him
nearly
through.
getting him a touch through the final turn. So we might see Teddy make a move into turn 1, and while these two drivers at the front are getting comfortable, we're seeing Neelix reel them both in, and he might
Gaz has
get
made a
himself
mistake
involved.
somewhere.
And Teddy,
Steve
sorry, goes round the outside. He goes round the outside of Dark Zenon into turn 1. Does he try and hold it round the outside? He'll have the inside of turn 2, and he makes it stick playing Teddy round the outside of turn 1. An exceptional move there for the Racing Point. Gets him up into the lead. Steve-O, the fan favourite, picks up a 3-second time penalty and goes wide into the stadium section there. So a double whammy there for the McLaren driver. And Dark Zenon does try and make a move on Teddy into 4 and try and return the favour, but he couldn't send it this time around. But while those two are battling at the front, Neelix has really got himself back in this battle.
Yeah, just a note on Steve-O, he went straight on at before that right-hander coming into the final, into the stadium section. He just went straight on, so not quite sure what happened there. But yeah, also Lewis has made up another position as Gaz made some sort of a mistake. Craig has come into the pit lane, as has Steve-O. So
going fresh intermediates.
Yeah, I think Lewis may be an outsider for this race. You never know. He's done it before.
I mean, you could do it if you've done it once before.
Oh, that's
Gaz.
Again. Gaz is round.
Oh, yellow flags, and I've got a bit of a lag spike for him. I don't know if that's my connection or his, but
nice.
He's into the pits.
Yeah, for me.
Trying to.
Someone else is in. Lewis is in as well.
And Lewis comes in for fresh
tyres are starting to run out. As Gaz is retired.
And Gaz retires.
Listen.
Was that incident? Was that incident enough to retire the car?
Don't know.
I honestly have no idea what happened to him. I just seen the yellow flags popping up in the third sector, and he didn't look like he had any damage, unless it was very minuscule. Then I didn't see it. But
not sure why Gaz retired there, but yeah. Well, I think I gave the commentator's curse on predicting a podium, but I think we are seeing tyres starting to run out of grip.
And that's quite a key component as well, because drivers in the chat were anticipating the track to dry up, but we weren't aware of how long it was going to take for it to dry up, and if it was going to be any time now and you're putting on intervals, then you're kind of mistaken, because it's still continuing to rain. It's not as heavy, but the track continues, even though this dry line starting to form, the track still looks very greasy. So I mean, it's very easy just to put a bit more throttle in the car than you normally would, and you're easily you're just round. Like, I mean, I don't know if Gaz made contact or just went off on his own accord, but it just shows you how easy it is just to lose the car, especially in these conditions, because they are adverse and extremely tricky.
Yeah. So what have we got here? We got, what's the gap up here then? Neelix
We've got Lewis.
Is closing. Oh yeah, Lewis
up the inside of Zach. Sorry, just to cut across you there again, Max. I apologise. But we've got the Renault up the inside of the Red Bull there. And Zach's not getting up easy here. He's going to have the inside to turn 2, and Zach keeps the place. Will Lewis try and make it up to inside of turn 3? I think Zach gave him a bit of a pinch on the inside of 3, and I think Zach's maybe just let him go for that. Maybe he's seen a bit of conflict in that move, and Zach's decided to take the sportsman approach there and give Lewis the place regardless. I think maybe that was a bit fair, because it did look like a bit of an unhealthy squeeze on the Renault driver into turn 3. But I do apologise for just cutting you off again there, Max.
That's alright.
Battle at the front.
Yes, I think Plain Teddy's starting to stretch his legs. Will these drivers have to come in though? Because it's not looking like it's going to dry within the next 5 laps or so. So Lewis might triggered. Oh, as I say that, Lewis appears from literally nowhere and has to sit behind Hickman again.
onto the back of the Mercedes. Renault versus Mercedes. You'll see his team Claude just exiting the final turn a few yards ahead of us. Hicklin is kind of being a bit of a mobile chicane for the Renault driver at this point, who is on fresher rubber. Lewis should make quick work it. Hicklin doesn't opt to defend, lets the Renault driver go up the inside, and they're going to go side by side on the run into turn 1, but the Mercedes will crucially have the slipstream with the Renault driver in front. So Nedclaw helping out Hicklin instead of his teammate there, but giving the Mercedes driver the slipstream. Obviously subconsciously he wouldn't even know that was the case, but Lewis regardless makes the move on the Mercedes driver, and he'll have his teammate Nedclaw in front. I wonder if Nedclaw will probably just let Lewis take the place and let him run after Sweaty Confetti.
Yeah, just look how much more grip he has.
Nedclaw, I don't think he should be taking this.
There we go.
Go on the inside of turn 6. I think that's a smart call there for the Renault team. As Lewis continues to make his way
Lewis
up the field.
is 31 seconds off the lead. I'm not sure how long it is to do a pit stop round here. He is the highest man who has stopped, and the rain still comes down, and it looks like it's. I don't know when it's going to stop, but even if it does stop, how long is it going to take for the track to dry?
And that's the thing as well, like if you pit on for dry tyres, you need to kind of keep the car on the dry line that you're creating by driving, also by racing. You're kind of creating the dry line. We're seeing Nedclaw peel off onto the pits there, so that lets Hicklin run loose down the straight. This kind of
Lewis just set the fastest lap on that lap, so yeah, I don't want to leave it too long out front, but they also want to conserve tyres as Lewis flies into turn 1. It's definitely getting drier, but it's still raining, so it's going to be interesting.
Is there a bit here, like, as the drivers, obviously we've seen Lewis pit, we've seen Craig pit, Nedclaw's just come in, Big Father's pitted, you've got Jules and Steve-O and Nedclaw there as well. And we've got everybody pitted. Jules goes for the medium, so Jules is throwing a bit of caution into the wind as he goes for the tyres at the back of the I think that's brave.
We'll keep a keen eye on him, I suppose.
We'll sit on board with him as he takes turn 1. We'll see how he takes it. Does he break at his normal point?
Oh, double lock up.
He does. And he's missed the apex and he's skated just a bit off the circuit there.
Yeah, I think he's going to get lapped.
Oh, and he's away!
Spun.
Oh, no, he's away! He's away!
He's sitting on the racing line as well.
Sorry. Oh, he's doing some donuts. He's got to have Plain Teddy there. Plain Teddy just has to squeeze from the outside there to avoid the Toro Rosso there.
It's just the way he spun round, and he just sat on the racing line once he'd finished the spin, and then luckily he got out of the way. Update on Lewis. He hasn't made progress still up the field. To see what the gap is to the leader is down to 30.4, so he has gained on Plain Teddy.
So how long is a pit stop at Mexico City? It's quite a short pit lane. The speed limit is 60 miles per hour. It's 50 miles per hour. Sorry.
So it's only going to be about 20 odd seconds. Yeah, low 20s, I'd imagine. Or something like that. 20 seconds, give or take.
Oh, gotta jump onto Neelix as he's right on the rear wing of Dark Zenon. Dark Zenon doesn't really like these changing conditions, but I feel this is where Neelix starts to thrive. Plain Teddy's just took the lead a few laps prior, and he's just ran with it. The track just looks dry. It kind of like there is
greasy,
races where
maybe.
You get. There is races. Obviously, one big race comes into your minds quite fondly, but there is races like this that happen that the track just continues to have that kind of slippery moisture on it. But like it's no dry tyres, but it's no wet tyres either.
Intermediates.
It's way too early. Scott
and a front
goes
wing
on.
change.
Scott goes on intermediates. I think intermediates is the safe choice there. I think Ferrari for once playing it sensible and going for the
intermediates.
Kind of copying around the field. Intermediates seems to be the main tyre of choice at this moment.
Stevo is all over the show. He's run wide at right-hander coming into the stadium. So yeah, Lewis on the back.
We've got Neelix going up the inside of Dark Zen in the second sector, making a move stick. Sorry, just to cut across you there again, Max, but Neelix tends to really look comfortable in these conditions. Dark Zenon isn't he channeling his inner Jensen Button at the moment, and he's struggling for grip, he's struggling for confidence and reference in these drying conditions, and Neelix is easy, Ozzy makes the move up into second place, but you are right there and spotting there, and Dark Zenon darts into the pit lane there after being overtaken by Neelix, and Plain Teddy's in as well. I've missed that.
Yeah,
but
it's dry
is
tyres,
this for dry tyres? Is this for dry tyres?
And it's all over the show.
Teddy's on the softs.
Oh.
Teddy's on the soft tyres.
Surely be pitting mediums.
Big Fowler's on the soft tyres. Jules is on the mediums. Maybe this is him kind of getting into his element now, and the dry tyres are really starting to take full effect. But it's a matter of keeping them in a temperature within an optimal temperature window.
But Lewis is staying out.
I feel like Lewis missed a chance there. I think he missed a trick there to pit. Same as Neelix, I think he's missed there as well, but I feel like this is maybe your time to come in. We'll get the notification to say DRS is enabled soon enough, I would like to
I'm pretty sure it's been enabled already.
Oh, it is, you're right there, Max. I've just seen the rear wing open on the back of that Renault. Yellow flags in 2 and 3. I don't know who that's for. It looks like an Alfa Romeo.
The chat have reacted to that call, and this Freeman says softs won't make it. Crispy says Erd said he needs a safe car now. Owen says double softs. Oh yeah, I think if he has them, but mediums. Way Scott Laney is on the hards, and so is Hicklin.
And you've got a fair mix of strategy here. Neelix is in the pits though, so we'll be interested to see what he pits on. But he's definitely lost some time in the midst of all this. I don't know if he'll come out. I think he might be on the threat for Sprightly.
I'll go on board with Zenon as Zenon comes from rounds.
No Sprightly. I was being a bit brave for Sprightly.
Neelix is coming out of the pits now. Zenon's just crossed the line. Here comes a sprint down to turn 1. Neelix comes out of the pits and he has got ahead just about. Lewis has lost out quite a bit, but yeah, I think Neelix is in pole position for a race win here.
Neelix definitely, after a bit of a shaky start, is finding himself in a potential race winning position. The chat have a bit of doubt about the soft tyres making it to the end, and we were sitting saying that earlier tyre degradation is extremely higher in Mexico City, so even in dry conditions a two-stop strategy is probably the most preferred strategy, I would assume, from my understanding when we race.
Yeah.
Aye. So is Plain Teddy going to go for a double soft? I'm assuming he's going to have to go for a double soft stint, but that means he's sacrificing the crucial factor of track position in doing so. And I would much prefer track position in a track like Mexico. If it was Silverstone and you're doing it, I can get it. But no at Mexico, where the overtaking opportunities are very limited.
Yeah, but even Silverstone, the pit lane's about a year long, so.
You age up when you go
Zenon's almost driven into the wall. And there's Jules at the fastest lap. Playing Teddy.
It's just immediately been wiped off the board with Teddy on the soft tyres. But
Zenon's struggling a bit at the moment.
I don't feel like Zenon was. Like, he's on pole. He was really quick in qualifying. He did everything he needed today. But when it came to the race, he's not been the standout performer. I feel like I feel like it's a mix of being what's the word? He's just kind of been outplayed, but he's also been underhanded as well. Like, he lost out in terms of the strategy, and then the change of conditions didn't really help him either. Like, the conditions were also like you're drying up. We were made aware that it was going to dry up as the race went on.
Yeah.
And the track
He
looks
doesn't
completely dry now. Like,
Yeah, I think
I mean,
the
I don't think.
conditions a bit overcast, so they got to work through that phase of the Grand Prix. Yeah, Zenon just didn't seem confident enough. Gareth on the back of Nedclaw, that's really the closest battle at the moment. Be interesting to see what plane Teddy will end up doing.
And we're going to have to see Nedclaw. This is the closest battle on field at the moment. Nedclaw is about to be overtaken by Gareth for 13th place, but Gareth backed out of the move. But Gareth looks, he is continuously looking this way and that, and trying to make a way past the Renault driver, and they had an opportunity to try and outbrake him on the inside at the 4 and try and maybe give him a bit of a squeeze on the exit of 4 into the entry of 5 and try and to try and give damage to his run into 5, but he opted to back out of the move. And I feel like his next best chance is going to be on the run down to turn 1. Yellow flags out in the final sector for Hicklin, who spun on the hard tyres. That's like, see, honestly, if there's one thing I absolutely hate when I'm racing is when it is like a race like this, and you have to go from the wet to the dry, and you opt for the harder tyre. It's really hard to try and get yourself rubbered in and familiarised with that particular setup, especially with the track being as cool as it is.
Yeah,
like,
hard to probably mistake in this conditions. I've just noticed Orange Crush as Hickton comes into the pit lane. Has he got damage? He hasn't, but he's going in at very slow miles an hour. Orange Crush has made its way up into 6th place after that phase of the Grand Prix. And Hicklin has put on compound tyres, so I'm not quite sure what he's doing.
I genuinely have no idea what's going through the mindset of the Mercedes strategy team there if they're putting Hicklin on the softs. I mean, the hards were a bit of a kind of overly cautious approach to the drying conditions, but they've realised that with Hicklin's spin, that's not really going to work in the temperatures that the track's given out. And now they're putting them on the soft tyre, which does provide a lot more grip. It's a very significant difference in grip and speed, but they burn out so much quicker. And I doubt they'd make the 15 laps at the end. So I don't really know. I don't know why. I mean, I'm no trying to deliver nitpicks to the drivers that are on the medium tyres, but I feel like the medium tyre would be the tyre of choice.
Yeah, you are correct when saying that. Zenon's picked up a penalty. It's interesting. He has a lapped car ahead of him of Jules, I believe that is, who wants to be going full Sebastian Vettel in the cockpit.
Well, that is killer. That's killer, Mercs. That is very. Just talk about throwing shade on somebody. Oh, but channeling his inner Sebastian Vettel. He's not had a fair run. But hopefully people can keep that inner Sebastian Vettel for maybe delivering donuts in the final race of the season rather than just spinning on demand.
We'll shout and blow flag down the radio.
I mean, Mexico's actually home to one of his more famous outbursts with Max Verstappen, when Verstappen was just being a complete nuisance in terms of defending, and he told Charlie to the late Charlie Whiting to beep off. So I'll let you kind of work that one out for yourself what he actually said, but it's really hard to put the pieces together. But the closest battle we're seeing is Scott and Scott. The two Scots are going at it. Battle of the Scots here for 11th place, and Scott Laney beats SLR Scott.
And Gareth.
Battle, but in that other battle there as well as one not too far behind them on track is Nedclaw keeps the place for Gareth. That Zen sets the fastest time with 1:19.444. And Gareth, I don't know, like, I'm on board with Gareth, right? And I don't know if, like, I mean, if you are as well, if you're watching Gareth's lines, right, he is doing everything he can to get by. But I don't know if he's just being too cautious. Like, I feel like you need to kind of take a chance in terms of overtaking. And
Yeah.
does look really quick, and being behind Nedclaw's really doing damage as he runs really wide on the exit there.
It
He
needs
is
to be.
doing like Nedclaw's dirty air's doing damage to Gareth's front tyres.
It needs to be a bit more punchy on the brake pedal, I think. A bit more Daniel
definitely
Ricciardo-esque.
He needs to. You've been sitting top of the channel in inner Sebastian Vettel's. Let's see the inner Daniel Ricciardo's into turn 1. Let's see a bit of risk, a bit of late braking here. I think Gareth might need
Scott
to
on
resort to
Scott.
that
Yes.
tactic.
Scott. That's the
Scott,
Daniel Ricciardo.
the two Scots are back at it again into the first sector. And Scott running outside of Scott, and Scott takes the place off of Scott there too, and Scott wins that particular battle against Scott.
The Scott
Scott
mania.
is going to come back at Scott. It's Scottception. Let's go. Scott on Scott. Scott wins that battle.
Yeah.
Well, this
Oh,
lap,
Plain Teddy.
as we see.
Plain Teddy's already
Teddy's
in the
in.
pit.
And
The medium tyre.
And I think that has gifted a potential race winning opportunity to Neelix. Because I've not
Yeah,
seen
Scott.
Neelix's name coming up for penalties.
Where's that put him? P5.
He's
That's a
right,
bit
he's not too far
tyres.
behind the original.
Yeah, he's only got 7 lap fresher tyres. And 6
Freeman-
laps in the Helix, so. Be a tough ask.
It's definitely going to be a mountain to climb for these final 12 laps. We've got Freeman in the chat, lending his support to Sprightly, who sits and occupies the final podium position. I'm on board with Scott Laney, trying to maybe make a look on Scott. He's no close enough to try and make an outbreaking manoeuvre. But there's an Alfa Romeo retired
In
in the
safety car.
second sector, and it's the big fella. And there's a full safety car. Right, Plain Teddy, your soft tyre strategy's potentially going to work now. You've
He's
kind of
crashed
called it a bit
in
early.
At the sector 3 split. Let's have a go on.
Oh, and there it is there. It's on the left-hand side there. I just quickly got on board with
Oh,
Hicklin.
yeah.
There,
Both with
and it
Zach.
was at the
It's
same
gone now.
place as
Yeah.
Teddy. It
On
was
the
same
other
place
side
as
of the
Teddy, except
track.
on the other side. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see the pit lane full of
Sending
activity.
in. And he's going to stay in P2, so he's pulled a blinder out there.
And Sprightly's in here as well. Crush is in. Originals
And
is in.
Helix
Lewis
is
is
going to
in.
be under
Zach is in.
huge
Is
pressure.
somebody in the lower end of the field going to sacrifice a chance to come in for fresh rubber and try and gain the all-important track position here in Mexico City in the final stages? The safety car is really going to start shaking things up for these final 11 laps here in Mexico City. We've got Scott coming by the pit lane. We've got Scott and Scott there, 11th and 12th respectively. They continue to sit 11th and 12th and nigh the pit for fresh rubber. There's Gareth stays out there as well, and he's no in fresh rubber either. Nedclaw comes in.
I'm
He's on the
surprised
soft tyres there.
Scott Laney from the hard compound tyres hasn't stopped.
I'm quite surprised as well. Like, I mean, I can see why, but at the same time, I can't. Like, like I can see him staying out for track position, but
Like even
on that
any
restart,
tyre would make it to the end from here, really. So
aye, because the safety car normally stays out for about 3 laps, I would say at max. 2 laps max, 3 laps, and then
like what, they have 10 laps.
it's about 2 or 3 laps the safety car's normally out for. It is quite dependent on what happens and why the safety car's out in the first place. But it was a big shunt for the big fella on this particular section of the track here. They're just seeing Steve-O! Steve-O's been disqualified! Steve-O!
Ignoring yellow flag. I ain't gonna know what's happened
What
here.
else is it today?
Might have. I don't know if he's overtaken the safety car or something. I don't know.
What's it? Where is?
I'm not sure.
Get me the stewards on the phone. Honestly, like, cause I don't understand this. It looks like he's still driving the car.
He is still
I don't know if
driving.
it is just his computer. Why is it telling us he's disqualified when he's still here?
Huh?
But how can you ignore yellow flags under a safety car? Like,
This makes no
he
sense.
needs to catch the back of the pack anyway. And he's not doing anything dangerous. Ons Crush picks up a 10-second time penalty. Penalties are coming out thick and fast here on these final stages. And I have absolutely no idea why. Right, obviously for Ons Crush he's probably took a big chunk out of a corner, or maybe done a bit of grass cutting somewhere. But Steve-O disqualified on our screens and on our information.
Crispy says it happened to him in Monaco. Said he got disqualified, but he was still going. Seems to be a nice glitch in the game. Bring on F1 2020, I say.
I actually can't wait for F1 2020. I want to see what else what other kind of game-breaking glitches there is.
Yeah,
I'm
to be honest, I'm going to
hoping
get
they
on F1 2020 and go straight on Vietnam and Zen. That is what I'm going to do.
I actually can't wait for a full 100% social race through Vietnam, with Riggs on pole and Riggs takes the win after leading every lap, fastest lap, full Grand Slam.
Grand Slam.
The Grand Slam. Yep.
I
Grand Slams are
think,
very rare in Formula 1, so they're very prestigious once you get them.
I don't think I've ever seen one in league racing myself, actually, as well. Oh, Dark Zen.
You have. Oh, and that's Doug Zenon! Doug Zenon had to avoid the slow-moving Haas there, hit the golf track. I mean, not to blow my own trumpet, but you have seen a Grand Slam for yours truly. Like,
No. I don't know, to be honest.
oh no, you won the there
I don't know.
for that race, I don't think. No, you won there.
What track?
It was Malaysia in 2017.
Oh. Did you? That's pretty good.
Aye. Thanks, babe. But no, just for that moment of trivia. I think you were still absent at this point because you took a break and then you came
Yeah,
back
I
at the
took a
end of
break.
the season, I think.
Came back
so-
at the start of season 2 for that one.
Aye. And we've got a slow-moving Toro Rosso there. I don't know. That'll probably be Jules. Oh, there's an accident behind the safety car, and there's chaos here at the back of the field. Here we've got a Mercedes, a Hicklin, we've got a McLaren there. I think that's
What's
Gareth
going on?
caught up in that. Scott Laney was there as well. Just
Big
complete
damage.
chaos
for
under
this.
the safety car.
That's going to rule Lewis out of any good position here.
And
Safety car
honestly,
in
I
slap.
don't. And that is disastrous for the back of the field if the safety car really. Oh, it is coming in. The light is off, so Neelix will inherit the power of slowing the field down, and he'll
He's not really
prepare
slowing
himself
it
for a
down,
launch
though.
off this final turn. He's not really slowing it down, and it's
he
a
is
very
now.
risky game to play. And we'll wait to see Neelix bolt, and I think he's already went, but Dark Zenon isn't letting him go too far ahead. And he's already in the slipstream. Neelix will have to go defensive. We'll ride on board with Dark Zenon, and he looks round the outside, and they will go side by side, and we'll sit on board with Plain Teddy, and Plain Teddy's getting a nice slipstream, and he's going to go up the inside of Dark Zenon. Dark Zenon's going to go round the outside of Neelix in front of us here, and he makes the move stick into turn 2. Neelix tries to go round the outside into turn 2 to get inside turn 3, but he doesn't make it stick. Dark Zenon takes the lead here on lap 28 of 36, and Plain Teddy is giving Neelix the all hee-ho down into turn 4. I'm getting my push. He's going to try and outbreak the Haas into turn 4, and they're going to nearly touch at the back there, and they
Sprightly.
still touch. And we've got Sprightly trying to get in there as well. We've got Saka's Beast and Original there trying to make a move for 5th place there behind the Ferrari. Sprightly trying to make a look on the racing point in front. And I'm trying to look through the field, see if there's anything else. Craig's right on the back of Sweaty Confetti. Sweaty Confetti's not really had a great getaway that restart. Scott has got Ned Claw up in his rear wing there.
Craig in
And
the
we've
wall.
got Craig. And we've got Craig picking up some damage on that left side. Sweaty Confetti's picking up penalties. It's either picking up penalties or picking up damage in these late stages. The two McLarens nearly come together in the stadium section. Steve-O's getting squeezed on that apex in the stadium section. And Lewis, after having a good surge through the field for most of this race, finds himself sitting 15th at the moment. Craig's into the pits to repair that front wing. and we've got Zach's Beast on the Mercedes, a Original up the inside into turn 1. Will Original's try and hold it running outside? He will, and he looks up the inside of 2. Does they make the move stick? And that's going to allow Orange Crush to try and make a move on the Mercedes after his teammate helped squeeze the Mercedes into the apex of turn 2. Does Orange Crush try and make a move into turn 4? He did have a look, but he just darts back in behind the slipstream of the Mercedes. And we've got Scott and Nedclaw there fighting for places, and Nedclaw makes the move running outside. Scott took a bit of the dirty inside there at turn 4. We've got Scott Lane in place, got the two McLarens, Gareth and Steve-O very nip and tuck there before there's a 23-second gap to Lewis just behind. That's not just behind, that's a 22-second gap, so that's not just behind, that's anything but. Anything else we can see happening? We've got this Mercedes and double Red Bull battle for 5th place starting to form.
Yes, this is the main battle at the moment. Oh, Scott has gone off the track.
On Scott Laney, and Steve-O tries to go around the outside, makes it stick. Scott will not be making the job hard for his teammate. His teammate is a lap down, however, and Scott getting right on the rear wing of Steve-O. We're seeing some moves in the midfield. Original makes the move back on Zach's Beast. Zach's Beast tucks back into the slipstream. Originals keeps the car tucked to the right, and the Red Bull is getting Zach squeezing out his teammate on the outside and takes a wider line into turn 1 and makes it stick, and they're still side by side. And the Mercedes is spun in turn 2, and the Renault.
Orange Crush has hit him off. He's hit the rear end. Dear. Oh dear, Crush fans. He's just absolutely wiped the Mercedes out of the running for points by the looks of it.
It's a very delicate piece of track, the first 3 turns in this circuit. I mean, it does provide very good side-by-side action, but at the same time, it kind of like makes you more alert to your surrounding because it's so narrow and tight and technical. And we've seen some good wheel-to-wheel battles into turn 1 as we see Scott drifting wide once again in the second set. He's going to have to push Gareth to the outside into the final sector here. Is there anything else we can see up and down the field, Max? We see Plain Terry closing on Neelix.
McLaren's making steady progress. Yeah, Plain Terry's not really making an impression on Neelix at the moment. Dark Xenon does have that penalty though, remember. And I haven't seen Neelix's name pop up. So
and we've got a potential battle here. We've got the two McLarens swarming the Ferrari, gone either side of him into the break. It's on at turn 1, and the Ferrari tries to go up the middle, and Scott is spun. Scott has been squeezed by the two McLarens there. That looked like a very well manoeuvred maneuver. That's the word. I don't know why the words are starting to escape me at this point, but don't know why. But have you seen that highlight, the 2000 Belgian Grand Prix, where you see the back marker and you see Hacken and Slipstream and Schumacher down the Kimmel Straight, and they go either side? That just kind of gave me that kind of flashback, and that's kind of what my mind immediately went to. And I feel like even though Sprightly was trying to fight for position, he was a sitting duck on that straight. The two McLarens, Steve-O to the right, Gareth to the left, and makes the move. Oh, I'm looking. I'm just sitting here fixated on Sprightly's name.
You are the real SLR Crofty.
What I've made the Croftyisms. Get your jabs in the new before I change my name. But Scott loses out. He was just in the nicest way. He was just double teamed. That's exactly what it was. It was just a very well crafted tactic by the two McLaren drivers to get past, and that means both of them sitting the point.
No speed on the straight.
And Originals is went round the outside, but the lap car of Jules is sitting there, kind of blocking the apex he's here. Might try to get
where the blue
back
flags?
into the back into the points paying positions, but in the midst of all that, we've just seen Neelix picking up a 3-second time penalty and Jules picking up a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the blue flags. So we're seeing.
I think that was deserved from what I saw. Not much going on really at the front. Neelix has kept tabs with Xenon, similar lap times. Crush picks up penalty. He's The Red Bulls are the ones putting on the charge at the moment. And that's really, at the moment, all that's happening.
That's really all we can see at the moment. The other big battle we can maybe have reference to is the battle between Sweaty Confetti and Gareth down this straight. Confetti's not going to have any DRS to help defend with. Gareth does, and he's using this to launch an attack on the racing point into turn 1. Does he try and outbrake him round the outside? Does he go for a switchback? He goes for the switchback option, but Confetti has it covered, and it slows Gareth down there through the first 3 turns. But Gareth is going to have DRS once again as Hamilton retires for the session.
In the pit lane.
He's just decided that there's no really much more to be gained. Car saved the engine, saved the performance for the next track, which is the United States, I would like to think.
For the chat, start thinking about driver of the day as Zenon.
Oh,
what happened?
Oh, Zenon's getting a wing!
No,
Zenon's getting a front wing on that Williams! And it's a safety car! Oh!
Jesus Christ.
Oh! Just big excited noises here coming from yours truly here on these final laps.
Why
There's
is
a safety car to anticipate.
Oh, Steve has got to drive through.
Oh, Steve-O just gets bullied for the stewards, I'm telling you that now.
Zenon's carried on.
Steve-O's just... Is he... That's...
Bizarre.
Where did...
Where's the logic in
where
that?
Where do you start to begin the sentence to describe what's going on? Like...
Bizarre ending to this Grand Prix, and it's going to end in a flourish, I think. I mean, I have no words for what Zenon is doing. For a fellow Williams driver, I think, yeah, I have no words for whatever he is doing.
I don't know if it's a graphical glitch, but I'm on board with him now. Like, sit on board with him through this. Obviously, he's under the safety car, but like, watch his turn in. Right, he's turning. Maybe there's a look a bit. It looks a bit like he's like struggling, but it just, I don't know. He looked like he was taking the turns quite like how you normally would. So I don't know.
No.
I doubt that's a
know
graphical glitch. I think that is actually like no front wing on that Williams.
What? This guy's in already.
And it's in this lap. So people that have pitted for soft tyres,
we
to try
don't
and
really
go for
have
a
time for driver of the day at the moment because we've
Oh.
still got the race to go. So Neelix leads this again.
And we're seeing time penalties in 10-second forms coming very thick and fast in these final stages as Neelix leads us away. And he's bolted, and the Williams of Doug Zenon's already made the move on Teddy, and he's going to make the move on Neelix too. He needs to tuck in the slipstream.
Plain Teddy's coming back.
Beast and Sprightly.
Oh, free
and we've got Plain Teddy, and it's free wide into the first turn. Who's going to be the first to blink on the brake? It's Zenon, who opts to go behind the Haas, but it's the Racing Point who takes the lead with a wee cheeky pinch on the outside turn 2 there. The two Red Bulls make quick work of Sprightly, and Sprightly isn't going to take this line down as he goes back up the inside of Orange Crush down into the run into turn 4. Will ride on board with Sprightly. Does he try and outbreak the Red Bull? He does. The Red Bull Orange Crush tries to go around the outside and he keeps it there.
Definitely
He's on the inside of turn 5. And Dark Zenon definitely does look to have some issues there as we see Nedclaw getting out of shape on the exit of turn 5. Sprightly has to go the long way round to the Red Bull, and the Red Bull gives him a bit of a squeeze on the exit, but Sprightly says, nah, I'm coming through, son, and the Red Bull get lined down, and he gets pushed off the circuit there, and these two are just pushing each other off the circuit, left and right, and Dark Zenon is really just getting in the way, and Dark Zenon takes the escape road there
coming from
and
nowhere.
goes wide.
They're going like 4 abreast down here.
And we've got some action here. Sprightly is saying, "Get the slow Williams out the way. I want past." And
they're like 3 wide.
And we've got Lewis, we've got Nedclaw in the ward there, we've got the two McLarens creeping up here as well. Ridgewell's in 9th, and it's the final lap of the race, and I'm not even focusing on the front here, I'm focusing on this midfield battle, so whoever takes a checkered flag can wait. I want to see what's happening here as we see Dark Zenon just acting like a mobile chicane here with this broken front wing and this damaged Williams. He'll be getting the black and orange flag for this. I think this is quite risky for Dark Zenon and the Williams. I don't know what he's his thought process is, but this is quite dangerous in my opinion.
Oh, Sprightly and Lewis have come to blows. What is Zenon doing?
I really have no idea how to I don't know how to start how this is really going to go. I have absolutely no idea what's happening as we see the two McLarens squabbling over the final points paying position. Dark Zenon's still in 4th place and he's getting pushed, he's getting bullied here. He's got a damaged Williams. Sprightly's picking up a penalty for exceeding track limits here, and Dark Zenon's got so much understeer. Can you not just, like, I don't know, I don't want to sound like I'm getting too angry, but you've got a damaged car, you're not in this race, just let them go. And he's getting slammed, and he's been pushed by Confetti, who's been pushed by Gareth, and that's letting Craig up into the final points paying position.
Confetti is coming out.
And Craig's up the inside there as well. But while this is all happening, it's going to be Plain Teddy who sees the checkered flag here in Mexico City as he takes the win. And it's Neelix who takes the win on penalties. Zach is beast up into 2nd place for the Red Bull, which is a strong result for Zach with the checkered flag here. It's Lewis in 4th, and Edwards in 5th. And everybody's just cruising along the checkered flag here, and I've absolutely no idea how to begin reading the results here, because it's just constantly changing. And I don't even get time to even begin to run through what the results were, because before I started, it just went away. Where do you start? Neelix takes the winner's trophy here, though.
Mental.
Like, we'll give her congratulations to the podium. We'll be speaking to them in a moment's time, but we'll use this time just to chill out, because I feel like we need to. I kind of want to speak to Zenon to see what his thought process was.
Yeah, I mean, that was bizarre.
But from our understanding, he did need a 2nd place. He is not on the podium as the rain continues to fall here in Mexico City. Well, it stopped obviously, but it came back on. It's Neelix who takes the race victory here for Haas, starting 2nd. He did have a bit of a shaky start in the wet, but he was able to navigate his way through the grid and escape the chaos that was ensuing behind him and take the checkered flag here in Mexico City. We literally just caught the tail end of Plain Teddy taking the line first, but he finished 4th and they end up with penalties being accounted for. Zach is beast in 2nd, original rounding out the podium. Plain Teddy crossed the line in 1st, but he takes 4th. Dark Zenon in 5th. Scott in 6th place after starting 12, a strong result for him. Original in 13th there, 3rd. Confetti 7th, Craig 8th, Ned Claw 9th, and Gareth rounds out the points.
Steve had 50 seconds of penalties, by the way.
50 seconds! Steve did get bullied that race. He just got, because he was disqualified, even though he wasn't. He got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and then another 10-second time penalty for the exact same thing, and then he got penalties in between for just getting caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't even know how to begin defending Steve-O. Like, I don't even know how to begin talking about the race. I don't even know what questions I'm going to ask these drivers, because they've got absolutely no idea what happened behind them. Like, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go. I need a break. You take everything here.
Yeah. Well, you were treated to an absolutely Barbie race in the end. We'll start off with Original, who I believe got taken out by Crush before, like 10 laps before the end. So, talk us through that one.
Oh, I'm absolutely fuming, mate.
Oh, honestly, we've had our rants, so you can take over.
He just rear-ended me. I was battling the guy in front, and I was just getting rear-ended, spun me off. Tires were heated up, and I just couldn't get any grip. But lucky enough, safety car helped me. I had no penalties, and I was expecting that podium before I was taken out. Dropped me back to P12, and I thought, I'm out. Great, race over.
Well, he managed to creep onto the podium with no penalties as well, which is fantastic. So, well done for that. Move on to Zach. Who, well, I mean, to be honest, that was a crazy finish. Yeah. Got anything to add on that? Well, I didn't really know what to say, but the carnage at the end.
Yeah. I think it was like halfway through the race I got hit up backside, which put me right back down the grid. And I just focused and got to second somehow.
Yeah, I think everyone's got no words for. Well, that was some finish. We were in the commentary booth. We were just, well, I don't even know, just astounded at what was going on.
Like, there was too much to talk about in the final laps. I honestly don't even know where to start. Like, that's why I'm just being a mute at the minute, because I have no idea what to say. Like, we were sitting, providing the coverage for that. Luckily enough for the podium, I think you were caught up in it in the end originals, but honestly, just that complete melee at the end was... I don't even know how to begin describing that. Like, so I can understand why you're frustrated. Because that just looked like a mess for the most of it. Like, we've seen cars just veering off. Well, lucky to, like, we've seen bits of carbon fibre in between as well, so... but... I don't know waste that. I didn't want to cut in, but I mean...
Yeah, we'll move on to our race winner in the end. And that is Neelix, so well done for that. At the end of the day, you were the... well, I think the famous quote as it goes... you... Oh, I forgot what I was going to say there.
I think I
to finish
survived.
first. She must finish.
Yeah, I
me.
kind of feel bad. I'm just hearing you guys talk now. I've got to watch this back. It sounds great to watch. My race is pretty boring. I was battling with Teddy and Zenon through most of it.
Oh, believe
So
me.
yeah, and you know, it sounds like there's carnage going on. This is the first decent race I've had in 4 or 5 races. So I kind
And
of
the
feel a
luck's
bit
definitely
bad.
turned.
Well, it's for one race. Yeah. Let's never count our chickens, but yeah, I'm happy with that. Plain Teddy must have had some penalties I didn't realise towards the end. 'Cause I
He had a
finished
stop
late.
go as well at the end.
Ah,
He didn't
okay.
serve, I think, somewhere.
Right, okay. In that case, I'm happy with that. Decent win, and yeah, on to next week.
What I was going to say is to finish first. First you must finish. And that's the words escape me.
Remember it for next time.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty entertaining. So, yeah, well done to all of you. I'll leave it to Riggs to round it off.
It is literally one for the ages troops. For the right reasons and the wrong reasons. It is going to be one of SLR's memorable races, and it is arguably one of the most, if not the most hectic that I've had the privilege to commentate on. I've not seen last night's race, and I've heard that was quite similar in terms of like just like hecticness and very chaotic. So I need to go and watch that one back. If you've not watched it, make sure to check it out on the Twitch. And tune in for tomorrow's race around Mexico Circuit for the final time this weekend for Division 1 race, where my co-commentator Merx will be taking the wheel of the Williams. So be sure to vouch for him as he navigates the circuit. But honestly, I generally don't know how to round it out. I'm looking through the chat to see. We did pitch who would be driver of the day. And the only one that I've really seen was Teddy, just due to his exceptional driving ability in the rain. He did look really quick in that. He did cross the line first, but penalties pushed him back to 4th, so that's why he's obviously not here, and I've got you 3, so I want to just extend the congratulations and well done on your success for your race in Mexico. Can only hope the momentum continues into the United States in a week's time, so be sure to tune in for that. It'll probably be myself and Merx again covering that race for you. What's your thoughts on the United States troops? Are we looking forward to that one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a good track.
good race.
Well, I mean, I'm no the biggest fan of the United States, but I mean, I'm glad not to be driving it. So,
I love the circuit.
myself and Merx, we shared the same opinion in terms of driving Mexico, but I mean, driving Mexico looked like it could be anything but a breeze with that race. So I actively encourage you to go back and look, watch that one back, because it just has a bit of everything. Why I just point out the main fact as well, like the main source of the fact that like everything was just kicking off was because Dark Zen opted to stay out with absolutely no front wing on that car. So I don't know what was going through that. I kind of want to know. So if you're listening, I want to ken why you stayed out. I want to know, but I honestly don't have anything else to say. If you're wanting to add anything, you can feel free to say anything now. So before I round out the stream, because I'm absolutely lost for words. I don't know what else to say other than extend my congratulations and ask why Dark Zenon just drove without a front wing for the last 3 laps.
You could barely make the S sections. Sorry, where am I?
Aye, the S sections was where it was kind of kicking off in that
Just
that
didn't
battle
bother
for
to make the
podium.
corner and just ran off track.
I saw he slid out in front of me. I see he was pulling away from me, and I was happy to settle for the position and come through the S's. I just saw he was off the track. I mean, you don't stop to ask yourself why, because you just look in the next braking zone. But I just figured he lost it or something.
I don't know what actually happened to him, but he's lost his front wing. But I mean, he'll probably have to answer that question himself when he gets asked it. I'm assuming stewards will probably come down on that, because that was quite well. I was sitting shouting about it in the commentary. I was thinking that was incredibly risky and dangerous to continue driving like that.
You can just do it on track position. That's the only issue.
And I feel like he's going to be having a few things to answer for that race anyway, especially in qualifying. We noticed that he blocked you on your first lap in Q2, Neelix, so
I wasn't going to say it, but
as well.
yeah.
Aye, so I think
I did notice at the time, yeah.
he's got a bit on his plate, so we'll only wait and see what he's got to say. But I'm no one to sit and berate him when he's not here to defend himself, so I'll leave that to himself and stewards behind closed doors. So I'm not going to sit and vent about that for much longer. Just want to reiterate, well done to the Freeze, well done on the podium. Enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you in the United States in a week's time, which is Saturday the 16th of May, 9 PM British Standard Time, so be sure to tune in. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for SLR's top tier race around Mexico City, where if the first 2 races round here are hectic, then we can only assume the third one can more or less be the same. So I actively encourage you to tune in. I'm going to sign off with that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, man.